Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Hello. Okay, yes, I do see my audio going up. Shiver, are you okay? Shiver? Shiver?
Oh my god!
Everything okay?
He just let rip with quite a nice burp. Not the best, but it's like, yeah, are we ready? Are we ready? Okay, going live. Wait a little bit. Amazing. Amazing.
Hello. Hey, Sargarath, how's it going? Hello, anyone else that's here? How's it going? I believe Disco Lando is streaming at this current time, so I don't expect many of you here. But those of you that are here,
Hi, Sakurai.
Sargarth? What's a Macho Man thing? Oh, am I doing Macho
Oh,
Man things?
yeah.
No. No, I don't do Macho Man things. I say, but I'm really tired because we got our kitchen cabinets and countertops installed this week. So I finished up all of the electrical and finished up the plumbing and finished up doing shiplap and finished up putting in baseboards and putting in molding around like construction-y things. So yeah, I've been doing Macho Man things all week, and I am tired. I'm tired. I'm really tired.
I'm Shiva.
I was gonna be like Boggle. Boggle is a weird name for a weird name, and someone should come up with an alternate to Boggle called Bloggle. And then I lost what was happening, and now we're live. So
Hello
yeah.
and welcome to this week's Relay Station, where things are going to be talked about that involve space, citizens, and ships. Joining me this week and your host is, of course, he is a lumberjack and he's okay. He works all day, he sleeps all night. On Wednesdays, he goes shopping and he has buttered scones for tea. It is, of course, Eris.
All of those things sounded more like you, because I've never had a buttered scone.
I'm just quitting the song.
Oh, I don't butter my scones. I margarine them.
I don't think it. I've never actually heard of anyone actually putting butter on a scone. I think that's a little, weird.
I mean, when they
Cream,
come out and they're
jam.
nice and warm, and you butter them.
I'll butter your scones. It is rice for me. It is just rice. It is rice, and it is nothing but rice.
That's great. I love rice.
3 times a day, every day.
I'd be down. Save on bills.
It's amazing what you can do with rice. I never knew it was so versatile. I'll be eating it next.
I sense a grain of wisdom in there.
It's funny because have these wonderful meals, absolutely stunning cuts of meat and things like that. Lovely bit of fish, it's just perfect. And it's always, you got enough rice? I don't care about fucking rice. Can I have some more of this fish?
No.
Just put
rice.
Wagyu in front of me. Who cares about the rice? Just meat. Give me the cow and what food.
Hey, Nascavian, how's it going?
Food. Hey, Nascavian.
All right.
No.
So we're gonna do show and tell in a moment. CIG are on hiatus. This is their wherever they are in the cycle hiatus before the next patch, and then they start talking about stuff again. So we don't have a ton to talk about, but we missed last week because Nakara caught the COVID. So he was out last week. He's out this week again. So wish him well if you can. COVID's rough. Do what you can to not get it. That said,
More importantly, don't fucking spread it, you dirty bastards.
Yeah. Anyway, I could talk for hours about COVID, but I can only talk for a little bit about spaceships because, honestly, because we do that every week. Yeah, I know, Stormy. I'm trying to face that down myself. The anxiety I have right now is just very high, and I'm tired of it.
You want to be careful, you make yourself sick.
Gonna get sick no matter what. But before we get into, oh yeah, there's people here now. Okay, cool. Hello, people. Before we get into the show and tell this week, I have some questions, and I don't know if there's anyone in the chat that can answer this, but nice, the Skavian. I'm thinking about Star Citizen. And I'm thinking about the way that I want to play Star Citizen. First of all, I do want to play it. I'm really excited for 3.17. I'm potentially even more excited for 3.18. It's like 3.17 adding all this loot to the game gives me a reason. Like, I want to go and I want to find containers, and I want there to be things in those containers that I want to be like, ooh, yes, I'll have one of those. I like the looks of that. You know, like it's starting to get to the point that it has the things in it that I like in video games. So I'm thinking about playing it more. But as I'm thinking about playing it more, I want to think about how to play it. Because on foot, keyboard and mouse, there is no alternate.
A gamepad would do. I think a gamepad's a nice middle ground. If you are used to gamepads, I am not.
I personally hate gamepads. I mean, I like a gamepad for a certain type of game, but if it's an FPS, I don't want a gamepad. Sorry. But I'm trying to figure out what to do with spaceflight. Keyboard and mouth is perfectly. I'm tired. Help! Strokes having a David.
Technically, you could do keyboard and mouse if you've got a very good voice attack profile.
It's true. I could do keyboard and mouse with flying, but I don't know. It always feels not the way it should. Like, it's, yes, I can do it and I can do everything, but it doesn't feel like I'm flying really. It loses something in transition. I have tried a stick and a HOTAS.
A stick and a HOTAS?
Sorry, HOTAS. So a stick and a throttle and stick. Don't really like it. Well, I find that the throttle is so limited. Like, I've got my entire left, and all I'm doing is speed, and everything else is on the right, and I've got no fine aiming controls.
Do you not have an analog stick on the throttle itself as well?
I mean, there are a bunch of sticks on the throttle, but they're all useless. On the one that I've got, they're all useless. They're like, they're
all digital.
There's no resistance at all. So it's like, whoop, 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 and
yeah,
unusable.
That's because they're digital.
Yeah, unusable.
See, the CH throttle, there might be others now, I don't know, has an analog stick, an actual analog stick on the throttle, so you've got an extra joystick there for your 6 degrees of freedom.
Anyway,
shed load of buttons.
I'm considering trying. Here's my current thoughts, and I want to know what anyone else thinks about this, or if there are any other vendors they recommend, etc. But my current thoughts are to get a T1600M and use it for my left hand and keep with a mouse in the right. So hand on stick and mouse. HOSAM.
Does the T16000 have a twist?
I don't know. I got to check that. I got to make sure it does. But that's my current thoughts. Wondering what if anyone has any thoughts on that, if anyone uses that, and if anyone's got any thoughts between the main.
You've still got a VR helmet, haven't you?
I do. I've got 2.
Back in day, supposedly, the most effective at that time method was HOTAS or HOSAS and VR helmet for your reticule and aiming.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I could also see like Track IR being good for that, or the the thing that watches your pupils, whatever that's called,
China.
or the Republican Party. No, the what's I don't
Yeah,
remember
I
what
know
it's called.
the eye tracker thing. But I can't remember what it's called either. I want to say Modiphius, but that's something else entirely.
I don't remember what it is. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm wondering what to do. I'm wondering if anyone has any thoughts. Clearly, no one
the
has
thing
any
that
thoughts,
puts
but
me off Track IR. Track IR is meant to be really good with the
yeah.
thing, but the fact that let's say you've only got one monitor and
Yes,
it's
Toby.
Toby, well done.
Thank you, Sargrath.
If you've only got one monitor, and even if you've got two as well, you've still got to turn your head, which might not be conducive to the current situation. And I don't know how effective that is or ineffective that is.
Funny thing
Yeah, that's
is,
a worry for me.
oh god, probably over a decade ago, probably like 10 or 15 years ago, I actually won at a LAN party, I believe, an early like Track IR setup that was it was like a bunch of like reflecty dots that went on a little thing that sat on a hat that you set up. But there was no support for it, so I never even used it. I threw it out, and now here I am, 15 years later, being like, wonder whatever happened to that thing. Anyway, useless now because the technology has evolved past that. But I won one of those at a LAN party. I think because I came in second in the Smash Bros tournament. Weird prize for that, but I don't remember. Anyway, that's what I wanted to start with this week.
I hear a lot of praise from HOSAS users about HOSAS.
Yeah.
I can see how it could work, but personally, that would get on my nerves a bit because I imagine your left hand being in effect the thruster with the joystick. You've always got to be leaning forward to go forward. It's like, am I there yet? Am I there yet?
No, Stormy, I'm just
yeah.
tired. I'm not drunk yet.
And also, I don't know what the accuracy would be like because you are still aiming with a joystick no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's always going to be the downside of using a joystick for aiming is you're using a fucking joystick for aiming. It's not great for fine aim, even though CIG have put in I can't remember the name of the damn system they used.
Well, that's why I'm
whatever that thing is.
That's why I'm thinking
it helps.
That's why I'm thinking hands on stick and mouse, because the stick in the left would give me forward and back thrusters, but I could also do it with have the left and right be left and right strafe, and then possibly
What are you going to use twist if it's for banking if it has it.
Twist for banking or for roll. I don't know which. I'd have to figure that out. Yeah. Anyway. And then fine accuracy on the mouse.
Yeah, I think the T16000 has a rotary thruster as well. If you ever wanted to use that for long-term flight rather than just sit there and.
I believe like it does, RPG which would be nice.
Hold W.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking. I got to figure something out because I want to do something more than just keyboard. But yeah.
Yeah. It does take away that feeling of being in the game when you're in a ship, or it's same with an airplane. If you're sat there with keyboard and mouse, it's fun and you are effective. But if you've ever used HOTAS, you just think, I wish I was using the HOTAS.
It's like racing, like car racing games. Like I love them, but I won't play one on keyboard. I'll use a joystick. Or like a gamepad, because that at least feels somewhat better. I'd prefer.
Once you get a steering wheel, you never go back.
Oh, I know, but I don't. Decent ones are really expensive, and I don't play enough racing games to warrant it. Honestly, All
I
right.
left my Logitech steering wheel, pedals, and gear shifter in the UK. But oh god, that was so much. It felt a bit weird because, for those of you who don't know how to drive a manual, apparently, I'm used to finding the bite point on the clutch and then being able to shift a gear, and obviously you haven't got that
Yep.
pedal, so it's like guesswork. Oh,
Yep.
but great fun.
I know. Yeah. Someday maybe. Someday maybe. Okay. Let's move over to show and tell. Let's see what we got for us this week. I didn't set this up in advance, so give me just a moment. It's going to be showing last week's, which is the repair stuff, which is still bloody cool, so I don't care. Where are we? What?
Well, you missed a bit. There you got it. Well, while you're doing that, groundbreaking important news.
What's
For
that?
those of us of a certain generation, Ron Gilbert has announced a new Monkey Island game.
I saw that.
Do you know? I think it was 2013
Said he'd
or something
never
like
do
that.
one again.
He said on Twitter, "If I'm ever going to do another Monkey Island game, I'm going to announce it on April 1st." And he announced it on April 1st.
Well, and he also said that I will only ever do another Monkey Island game if I have control over the IP, which I'm guessing Microsoft gave him enough control. Is it Microsoft?
I don't think Microsoft owned.
I don't know who does.
I want to say EA, but I'm not sure. That could just be because they buy everyone.
It could be. Anyway, I guess whoever owns it gave him enough control that he was like, "Yes, I'll do it." Okay, let's look at this week's. Oh right. Mining looks really good. I really hope that they fix that like weird breakaway of the rocks a bit, but we got a new concept ship. The Expanse.
It's a weird name for what it does.
It is. I will agree. It is a very weird game name. Weird name for a like refining ship. I feel like it should. I feel like it should have been called something else. But
Yeah.
it's a very big ship for a one person. It's a large ship.
It is mostly, bits, pieces, gubbins in it. It's not hollowed out shell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still quite large.
It's quite large. Lots of that is down to the reactors. It needs like 6 reactors to run the 8 reactors to run the 6 or 8 different refining processes that you can all have going at once, which is really cool. This ship is to bridge the gap between Prospector and Station. Because right now, if you're a Prospector, you mine stuff, then you have to go to a station, then you refine it, then you sell it. That's not really the intended end game of things. The intended end game of things is a Prospector sits there and mines, drops their little cargo pods, and then one of these shows up and picks up all of the pods and goes and refines it en route and then sells it at the end point. So I like that they've added this.
Your Prospector mining for longer, more profit, everyone happy.
Well, it means the Prospector doesn't have to leave, right? Because you fill up your Prospector and then you've got like, you're away from mining for 45 minutes to an hour at least round trip. No, you want to keep mining. This means you don't have to stop mining, which is good. Nice looking little ship. It's Misk. Misk makes sense. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it, really. really big cockpit for the one person. Like that, the one person in it looks small. More open and bigger cockpit than a freelancer for one person.
I wonder how much control of the ship the pilot will have when in pilot's seat. Will the pilot be able to literally do everything from the pilot's seat, or will they have to get up and, help guide the cannon at a different station, go to a different station on the same ship, hit the refine button, get to pilot's seat, or could they all just, all few things like that I'd like to know.
I feel like the pilot will have to go to the back and individually select the refining processes. Just because, honestly, just because they've made the back with those like the terminals to be able to do that, and like the screens to see in. Like, it would be a waste if you could do everything from the pilot's seat and never move. But I don't know.
Well, not necessarily, because you could tie it in with a hull ship, let's say, and say, refined ore takes up less cargo space than unrefined ore. Just let's say. And so that gives the reason for I'm going to call it the bucket, to be there. Guy in the back just hitting refining, eject that one out, hull scoops it up, sends it off, and then you basically you've got your refinery with you there, and you can make even more
profit.
Yeah,
it does.
Or
it is interesting because
flying back to base, refining in the back. Sorry,
I've been thinking about this a bit, and I think this is like, I mean, maybe like the Vulture, the repair ship, but
Vulcan,
yeah. Sorry, really tired.
The Vulcan's rearming stuff. With the swivelly head.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. Like, this seems to sit for me at least. The Expanse sits in a very weird gameplay area where it can't do any of its job alone. Like, it needs a prospector or something else mining, or else there's nothing that it can do, right?
It's going to annoy me if I don't look it up.
It's fair.
I know it starts with C.
Crucible?
Crucible!
Oh, sorry. Anyway, I find that sort of interesting that like I can't think of many other ships that can't do anything on their own. This requires someone else mining, because it can't even mine on its own, right? Like, it is, and I can't think of any other ships that do that, really, that have no purpose without, like, even a Starfarer can transport some goods, right?
Even the Starfarer can mine now quantum fuel, I think.
Yeah. So,
although I think all ships are going to be given that basic capability.
I think there will be.
I don't know if that's still the plan or not.
I don't know. I think there's going to be. God, I can't remember. I'm sure they said it and it's in my brain somewhere, but it's not at a reachable level.
Vulture. Would the Vulture actually have storage space enough for an entire salvage operation?
I don't know.
It might have basic storage space, but it might work better if you've got someone there to transport, once again, all your
But it might work.
gains.
It might work better with someone there, but this won't work at all without someone there, right? Like, I can't think of another ship to this point that won't work at all without someone else doing part of the job.
It is purely a secondary role for another primary role.
Yeah, and that's it.
I mean, I wonder if this is going to be the start of that kind of thing, because it's a chain in I in a role position.
I think it will be, and I'm interested to see that. And I feel like ships like this absolutely need Quanta working, because either if you're a player and you want to play in one of these, you can't rely on there always being another person mining, right? So you have to be able to pick up mining from Quanta as well as regular humans, because what if there's no humans on your, what if there are no people on your server mining? You can't
Less.
but you can't do anything in that ship, right?
Hmm.
Conversely, if you're mining and you want to drop your materials for one of these ships so that you can continue mining and you don't have to stop, if there are no people running one, this to me screams Quanta needs to work.
Yeah. I mean, I was working out in my head, could this work like that? And it's like, yeah, it really could. They could just set up a mission out there using Quanta that Miner Roberts, Dread Miner Roberts, there we are. Dread Miner Roberts is off mining in this place. You can go and support him and you'll get X% of the profits or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you're in one of these and, oh, look, Dread Miner Roberts is selling leadtanium at $1 a ton, and I know that I can grab it, refine it, and sell it for a profit at like $3 a ton, right? Like, but there has to be that mission ability and that Quanta support.
Oh, I like that. It's not my kind of gameplay, but the people who are into that kind of gameplay, that gives them, let me crunch these numbers and work this out. I'm going to spend this on fuel and I can make a profit of this. And it's like, yeah. It's just that it's almost incidental that there is this extra chunk of it rather than just on the surface of, yeah, I'll do that, whatever. You've got to work out, because of the way it's been set up, of how much profit can I make? Is this worth my time?
Yep.
And people that are into that sort of gameplay love that kind of thing. Not all, but it's just nice. It's just this nice side effect of the way they've set everything up.
Yep. And it's an interesting ship that's going to add some difference to the verse, in my opinion. Okay, let's talk a little bit about refueling. Refueling's coming. Hey, Griff, how's it going?
Hey, Griffin.
This is another one that this is important. Being able to refuel, and like, yes, you might have to manually call someone up. As of right now, you can't create a mission for it and everything, but don't do that. But this is great. I hate the Anvil Arrow. Not because I hate the ship, but because it's got such a short range. It can't go anywhere in Stanton. Like, it just can't. It doesn't have enough range. Travel with someone in a Starfarer, or run out of fuel and be able to call someone. This is good. Refueling is good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much else to say, really. That's it.
Yeah.
It's nice little bit of gameplay. It puts in all that extra thought of no longer can you just whoosh, run out of fuel, or just have infinite fuel and think, yeah, whatever. It's all these things you've got to take into consideration.
Yep.
Nothing is going to be as simple as I want to go to this place and do that thing. I'm sure you'll be able to get certain components or get to a point in the game where you are essentially, I can do that and I know I can cover my bases by doing this.
Yeah. Well,
it's just good.
And it's also going to be interesting because I feel like if you are stuck to the point that you need to call someone in a Starfarer, what are they going to charge you? Because they know you're stuck.
Well, that's just it, though, isn't it? That's the way an economy works. There's
I know.
certainly going to be people out there who will try and charge through the nose, but there are going to be people who are not interested in that cutthroat approach, and that will create a competition.
Yeah.
You know, so these people who want to charge 100 times the market value might just get priced out because there's this guy here who's like, okay, he charges 100 times, I'll charge 2 times.
But it's
I
going
make
to
more
be
money because people come to me.
but it's also going to be really interesting too, because Starfarers are going to have to fill up on fuel somewhere too, right? So we're going to start having this circle of an economy going of, and that's great. And yeah,
Exactly.
Stormy, it does mean that, because let's say you call someone and they try and they rip you off. Well, a mission was created and you'll be able to rate them on the mission. You can rate them really poorly for the price that they set, right? So there's going to be all of this, like it's an economy in game, but it's a different economy than you normally get in MMOs, right? Because most MMOs have an auction house. It's here's the thing you want, here's the price that they've set it at, and that's it. There's nothing more feeding that. Whereas because Star Citizen is going to have a full economy and quanta and a reputation system, there's a lot more to it, and it's going to be interesting to see how it works and evolves.
There's an extra nuance to it that's actually being demonstrated here of, okay, this guy only charges half the market cost above, you know, but he's rubbish at delivering it. You know, buy at your own risk. And then of course, as you say, Quanta, there will almost definitely be NPCs that can do this as well, and they might, you know, Star Citizen CIG do have the ability to look at Quanta and say, okay, well, players are charging this much, and then they can sit there and say, you know, well, we could create competition by having NPCs charge far less and then drive down the prices that way, because it's not going to be a completely free market. There will be control there from CIG, because there's
but it might be interesting how CIG control it, because I don't think CIG are going to be manually changing prices in game. What they will be doing is, okay, fuel is too expensive right now because not enough is being mined, so let's increase the mining deposits of it so that more people are seeing more value in mining it and can mine it that's going to be how they balance it. They're not just going to say, oh, this is what it costs now. But
I mean, the companies are going to be CIG ran. The companies that you are basically selling your stuff to can say, look, you know, we need more unobtainium. Unobtainium we will pay premium on, and then they will encourage, you know, start that way with a nice subtle market influence.
Yep.
And then they can get more hands-on if need be. And just introduce through Quanta more NPCs to mine unobtainium if players don't go for the bait.
It's good. It's all good. It's all coming up roses or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sorry I made you do the show today.
I am so tired. Selling. We're going to be able to sell loot that we get, which is really nice. But I hope that comes with the ability to, like, pick up a piece of armor, because right now you can't. Also, I really want that Nerf gun.
Yeah, the guy with the Nerf gun just firing it off. That's perfect representation of this podcast right now. I'm here with the Nerf gun, and you're just like, yes, Shiv, yes, Shiv, yes, Shiv.
Selling is good.
Eris's hot take. Selling is good.
I don't know.
Buying also good. This just in. Markets good.
This just in. Water. Wet.
This just in. Water can make things wet.
True. I don't know.
Up from my note.
Selling is good. They still need to expand on the UI and stuff, and the ability to sell more than one thing at a time. There's a lot of work that still has to be done with it, but it will be nice to be able to be like, I'm going to pick up all of these rifles and take them somewhere and then sell them because I can now make money off doing that, because you couldn't before and it sucked, and now that you can, that is good. That's my hot take.
Yeah, that was a better hot take. Well done.
Thank you. It's funny because I'm absolutely freezing.
I wish I was freezing. Yeah, it's all coming together. I know from the outside in, if you've got no real hands-on knowledge of Star Citizen, you haven't been following the progress for God knows how long now, because you're a normal person and not like us. Then it just, from the outside, like, that's it. That's what they've done after all this time. It's like, yeah, but it's there now, and it's what it's going to be built on, and you've got to start somewhere. It's not like they can just pull code out of thin air, copy paste it, and go, no, supports it now, fully done. If only that were the way. Unfortunately, with the way that CIG have done things, can't do that. But it is there now, and it's going to keep being worked on, and it is going to get to the state where it is comparable to exactly what you would expect from a modern game. But it's got to start somewhere.
Where is
Eris's beard didn't just spontaneously appear, contrary to popular rumor. He had to grow it slowly over time, and at some point it looked terrible. But now look at it, full, glorious, and really gives me something to hang on to.
This is a really short clip, and it's not really explaining much of what's going on, except to say that in a very basic form, unlimited form, Quanta is coming in 3.17 for fuel and for repair and for quantum fuel. And that'll be Quanta sort of setting the prices wherever you need to repair your stuff, which is cool. Good first iteration. It's going to get quite a bit of use because repair and restock and refuel are used all the bloody time. And it's going to be able... I feel like CIG are going to be able to get a lot of useful data from this on how Quanta is working behind the scenes, which they really need to know before they can start more fully rolling Quanta out. But yeah,
absolutely. They've got to make sure the most basic part is working. When they're sure of the most basic part, like when you're building a house, you don't just put the foundation down any old way and then just start building a house. You've got to put the foundation down and make sure the foundation is in correctly, that it is solid, that what you are building on isn't just going to crumble down the moment you start putting weight on the damn thing. And it's exactly the same here.
And we keep seeing that in across everything that they're doing, right? Like it's the first iteration of this, the first river is coming, and like all these things are sort of one-off additions that get added onto and added onto and added onto over time. And this is going to be a small first iteration for Quanta, but when you think about it, it doesn't matter that this is small. This is Quanta, and if it works, like Quanta is essentially the service that will down the road make Star Citizen into the game that we all hope it can be. Like Quanta is 100% required for that end vision we all have of a living, breathing universe. Quanta is it, and we are getting a first implementation of that. That's pretty damn cool, honestly.
Absolutely. When the white Yeah, when the White brothers did their first flight, the next step wasn't a 747.
Yeah.
So, and even the first jet engines were dropping out of the jet planes for passengers were dropping out of the sky because they only realized afterwards, oh, the windows are in bad shape. And who would, I know I'm making this weird jump here, but it's an intricacy, at no point would anyone, because it was completely unknown territory, have thought, oh, we need different shaped windows for a plane to not depressurize in the middle of the sky and fall out of the air. Good to know that now.
God, I hate planes.
I'm tired as well. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. The point is solid foundation. Build up from there. If they could just go whole hog in, throw it all in, and then it's a great big shambling mess. And then they've got to root through all that code, go back to it, and oh, that shouldn't be there. Let's correct that. Oh, everything's fucked.
Yep. We're also getting some hospital and medical improvements in the next patch. Incapacitation should work. This bit right here, I love the idea that you can be like, you can fall from a height and there's a chance there's a chance that you will land wrong and break your legs, and there's a chance you won't. I love that. I think that's... Did that just... Oh, hang on. Okay. I gotta watch that part again. But I really like that little bit of random chance because, like, have you ever... Oh, man. Great. So, years ago, I think me and my friends were probably like 16, 17, something. I don't know. We were walking around in the neighborhood at night, as one does when you're 16, 17. And there was a parking lot. And the parking lot had two posts and a chain running between the two posts. And like 3 or 4 of us just, quickly hopped the chain and all was fine. And my one friend took a run and didn't make the hop and like full speeded into this chain and just full speed face planted into the cement. Alcohol might have been involved. He was fine. But like sometimes your body just doesn't work the way you think it's supposed to. So I really like that addition. I don't know. It makes me really happy.
Yeah, sometimes fate just doesn't want you to.
Yep.
And sometimes you realize that you're that guy that fate just doesn't want you to, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to walk around the chain.
Yep. Okay, here. Oh, Chiaro Hadfield. I thought it said Chris Hadfield. Now it's going to be really happy for a second. Anyway, new stuff coming, 317. Fixes like that stuff, and also if you crash into your floating corpse, you will no longer get a crime stat, which is good.
So does that mean that I can now respawn, get back to my corpse, fly into it, and it will still be there?
Yes, absolutely does mean that.
Wonderful.
Exactly that.
Now, can I fall out of a tree so fast that I can respawn and get back and see myself falling out of the tree?
I believe you can, yes.
What an amazing name.
It's pretty good.
Sorry.
I guess better weapon animations for firing on some guns, and some improvements to the face. I don't know how to say this without sounding wrong, but the
face reactions.
Yes, face stuff. Improvements to face stuff.
That's worse. That's
I know.
Worse.
I'm trying. I'm trying so
I
hard.
don't think you are. That's what. That's worse. That is
Um,
actually worse.
and I have to take CIG to task where I can. The faces look pretty good. They could be better, but they're not. They're really quite good. The hair is atrocious. I would really like CIG to fix the hair sooner rather than
Well,
later.
can I fix mine?
Because the hair is really bad. It's really bad. And I'd also like beards, please. Anyway, hair's a problem.
Well, I mean, yeah, hair is a problem in general in games because
That looks really bad, though.
Oh yeah, I'm not denying that, but it's just making hair in game is a pain in the backside because it's a lot easier and time saving and resource on your machine saving to have it's just a solid object that they've textured, but then it looks like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't react. It looks terrible. It looks like it's just been literally glued on.
Yeah.
Or you can do it another way and have it react to things, but then it's all got to be these individual things, and that's quite taxing on the system.
Yep.
But it needs something done to it.
Well, I think the problem largely is, we'll get to that clip again in a moment. But you look at this face, and it's like that mouth, that nose, the eyes look great, but that hair just like it doesn't fit.
It's
with
stuck in place. When she blinks, the hair stretches.
Mhm.
Because it's just to the game, it's a solid object.
But like they've
So
got those. I hate to use the word, but the eyes look moist in their reflections. Like they've got so much detail in the rest of the face, and like pockmarks and freckles and like texture to the faces, and then there's just that. Honestly, like Lego hair would look better. Okay, moving on from bashing hair. What do we got next?
I like bashing hair. Let's bash hair more. It makes me feel better.
I still don't know if I'm ever going to use mining gadgets.
Probably. Even if, think of it outside of the box. They're testing this out as mining gadgets. Next thing you know, that's going to be the space equivalent of C4.
Yeah.
To breach into an enemy ship or facility. Rainbow Six style.
Yeah. Oh man, if they could do some of that, that'd be actually really bloody cool. But
exactly.
No, it's great.
It's that foundations thing again. Yep. Mining is in there right now. Mining is this thing that has been proved very popular. Maybe the way that they're using mining charges, they can do something similar with shipbreakers as well, because you've got demo charges on shipbreakers.
Yeah.
Maybe the next bit is seeing what they can do with salvage, and same sort of thing.
Well, and if they can do that, then at some point there's got to be the ability to like stealthily like float up to an enemy ship and place a charge and float away and just blow a giant hole. It's cool. Like I like it. I like what they're doing. I like the detail that they've gone into on the mining gadgets. I'm lazy.
Can I just say you've inspired me for a fucking good, awesome role now in the game itself of Space Commando.
Yeah. Well,
you're in a drop ship. You just fly over this enemy cap ship, and you have got balls of cast iron, and you just leg out that ship, free fall through space, land on the enemy cap ship, put the charge on, go in, kill them as stealthily or Agent 47 or as not stealthily as you were. Oh yes, make that happen.
We've talked for years about how something like that is likely to make it into Squadron 42, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Based on, and I think it was based on them saying that they needed to figure out a way to do like mag boots, but they haven't mentioned that. They haven't mentioned that in. To be fair, they haven't mentioned that in years. So who knows if it was cut or anything. But
I mean, it would be more dramatic if there weren't mag boots and you just had to hold on for dear life
Well-
to any part of the ship you can.
and they mentioned it in this week's Star Citizen Live. But like the whole push pull. Actually, while we're there, I watched most of the Star Citizen Live, and there was one interesting bit that I wanted to talk about because I thought it was actually really cool. Was the they were talking a bit more about the space suits themselves. They were talking about one, they probably have to figure out at some point an ability to feed yourself while in a spacesuit, because if you're out in like on Pyro and you're hungry and you can't take off your there has to be a way to feed yourself through your suit. It hasn't been solved or anything, but they're going to have to tackle that at some point. But then they were also mentioning that EVA suits are going to have fuel requirements for the thrusters. And you're going to have to, as a player, try to make as much use as you can of the push-pull mechanic to pull yourself along things, because otherwise your thrusters will run out of fuel. And I thought that was really cool. And
I wonder if you'll be able to use Mobiglast tractor beam as a grappling hook in space.
That too. Like, and I don't see why you couldn't. But exactly like you were saying, like a commando team floating along like a javelin or something, and you know, dragging their way across the entire ship to the to the bridge, and stealthily planting a charge right on the bridge, and then floating away and then blowing it, and the glass on it blowing, and the crew getting sucked. Like, that's really cool.
Blown out, not sucked out.
Details.
But no, yeah, wouldn't that be cool? I mean, wouldn't that's like the killer move, is to just take out the bridge crew, commandeer the ship that way. I mean, obviously you've still got to deal with the rest of the crew somehow, but that ship, in that brief moment of time, you could do some serious shenanigans. Or you can just find a nice quiet spot on the ship, stealth your way in, take out some of the crew, and before they know it, a lot of systems just aren't responding, and then you breach your way into the bridge, and you're like, "Ha-ha! All your valuables, sir! Give them to me!"
This is what I'm really excited for Squadron 42 for, is that like there's got to be some of that's going to happen.
Surely.
And I think that'll be so cool.
Surely.
I think that'll be so cool. Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to, that was an aside. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, but yeah, mining gadgets are cool. And we see here in just a moment, we see here the new clouds over Hurston, and they look, God, it looks good. The cloud tech is stupid. It's stupid.
It is lovely, isn't it?
It's like, I mean, I get why they had to do it. Man, it's good. It's really good. Oh, and speaking of good, look at this cute little, the Hull A. I don't actually know. Someone correct me if you can think of something else, but are there, I mean, maybe the Drake, is it the Drake Vulture? I don't know, but can you think of any other ships in Star Citizen other than the Hull A that qualify as cute?
The Argo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's fair. But man,
That's literally the one reason I bought one, because it was adorable.
The Hull A is so cute. I love it. I can't wait for it to be in game. I don't have one, but
I do hope that I don't know what we're calling it, the telescopic effect when it's all folding and unfolding. I really hope that's going to be loud, grinding, mechanical whirs and things, because yeah, that'd be badass. And imagine that magnified however many times for a Holly, just this. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's embarrassing.
I know. I get what you're saying though, and I really want their. What was I watching? I was watching. I'm not gonna say what we were watching, but Cass and I were watching a show. Yeah. And there was a scene where they're walking through like a storage, one of those storage locker places, but the lights would like turn on as they walked under them and turn off behind them, and it was just the chunk 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 of the lights turning on and off, like really audible industrial lights. And I feel what you're saying, because I'm just imagining like a Hull E and it just being like it not everything should happen at the same time. It should be like in a wave across the ship, and it starts like and then the next one is and then the next one is all the way down. Oh, that'd be so cool. Anyway, Hull A, super cute ship.
Does cargo just blink onto the wrecks currently?
Yes,
That's a good question.
I believe it does. But it won't soon. And it depends on how
they have mentioned that cargo loading and unloading to be a thing.
Yeah. And for clarity, like it'll blink onto the racks if you're loading it from like a spaceport or something, I think. But if you've landed somewhere, oh, a wild Jake appears. Hey, Jake. Been a while. But if you're loading it yourself at like miscellaneous space dungeon, then you'll have to do it yourself. How's it going, Jake? How's life?
They've mentioned industrial bollocks. Titan suits are going to be a thing. I would imagine that forklifts are going to be a thing. So even if it's not something that you necessarily as a player are doing, operating a forklift, you're going to sit back, cup of coffee, watch it, and just be like, oh yeah, that's a cup of coffee, by the way, just to clarify.
Ooh, Train to Montreal, not bad. And yes, I agree. Sitcon Montreal, please. Please. Well, Jake, migraines suck. I hope it gets better. It's not COVID. The car is not here again because COVID sucks.
Migraines fucking crippling.
I know. I don't know that I've ever had a migraine, but Cass gets them often, and it's just like she just has to lie there with like a weighted thing on her eyes for hours and do nothing, and it's like that sucks. I'm sorry.
Get once a month for about 3 or 4 days, and it's just lie in bed and feel like I genuinely want to just blow my brains out with a gun or something like that, just because there's nothing you can do. You take handfuls of painkillers and then your kidneys ache and you're like, oh great, now I'm overdosing. And nothing helps. They're a nightmare. And there's one thing that's even worse than a migraine. Cluster headaches, where people get those, and thankfully they're rare, where you have to get your own home supply of oxygen, and that's the only slight relief you can get, because they are even worse.
Jeez. That sounds lovely. Couple things in this clip. One, really like the bind to hail ATC. That's so nice. I hate going into the friends tab and hailing ATC because quite frankly, ever since they told me to get on a pad and I couldn't get on the pad, and then they put away my ship and impounded it for a while. I've hated ATC. They're not my friend. I shouldn't have to go look in my friends list for them. I'm not friends with them.
I love the logic.
You're not my friend. Why do I have to go into my friends list to find you? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's cool, LSP. That's cool.
Nice.
I like the fact that because it's now one single button bind,
Voice attack.
voice attack. Dock me up, baby.
Also, River looks pretty. I need to go find it. Needs a lot of work still, but for a first iteration, hell yeah. I'm also like, I know that there's one, and it's like, let's put one in and see how it works and get it working well. I'm really excited to see Rivers like dotting the planet, and not dotting, but like, I don't know, snaking, veining the planet.
Oh, don't say that word. Oh. 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 God.
What else? What would you? How would you?
Just stick with snaking.
Rivers snaking the planet, but
Creeping.
creaking,
Slithering.
creaking the planet.
Just don't use that V word ever again in your lifetime, please. Oh God. Oh. Oh, I need a shower after that.
I'm really tired.
There's something on your forehead that's pulsing and veining.
It's a river. No, I think rivers all over the place will be really nice. Like flying along, and you can see the sun sort of like shimmering off them. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And then fishing.
Oh yes, I'm also. You know what? I want to fly up and like have my shit just sit there and hover over the water and just like open the hatch and sit out the back and fish from it. I think that would be just lovely.
That's one of the things that appeals about Star Citizen for me, is the fact that it's not always going to be go do this, go do this, go do this, you can just think to yourself, all right, I'm going to go to this planet, I'm just going to chill, and rather than there will be something to do that's not necessarily meaningful on a galactic scale, but you could just dangle your tackle out the back of your ship and see what grabs onto your rod and gives it a pull.
Yeah. Also, Jake, I like my fishies alive. I want the ability in Star Citizen to catch a fish, reel it in, look at the fish, be like, "Ah, what a pretty fish," and then throw it back and see it swim away.
I want to put it in my aquarium.
That too. It needs to be alive to put in your... Well, I guess it doesn't need to be alive to put in your aquarium.
Wow. Well, what are you going to do if it's dead and you put it back in the stream and then just watch it on the surface go off? Oh, what a majestic sight.
So majestic.
Look at it there, veining its way down the stream.
Okay, I'm going to see if this one will work with... I think this one is supposed to have audio. I'm going to see... I don't know if I can get this. Maybe not.
Okay. Oh, that was loud. Hey, I like my colors. I like my colors. Whew, almost missed my chair. Have you ever found a critical JIRA assigned to an employee that hasn't worked there for years? Had you ever shown up for a stand-up that no one told you had been canceled? Have you ever had everything working perfectly on staging, but wouldn't even boot up in the presentation room? What kind of games did you invent as a kid? Have you ever shown up to a stand-up and you were the only one there? Have you ever gotten lost in a gaming convention? Have you ever clicked send halfway through a... I forgot what I was supposed to say here. Have you ever lit a scene only to discover you're 300% over the entity budget? Have you ever killed a man in the dead of winter just to watch the steam rise from his wounds? Have you ever been tempted to set all your Jiras to resolved and just make a run for it? Nope, that's not good. I don't remember the last time I stood up for a stand-up. You tell us it's going to be a good start. I got a trophy for spaceships. I gave it to myself. I'm going to have to get a haircut at some point. I'm just wasting camera time now, huh? You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? They gave me a special fashion hoodie. Sometimes I just stick my fingers under my arms. Oh, the weather outside is weather. Honestly, I'm just getting really bad at this. Have you ever found 4 copies of the same Confluence page and had no idea which was the updated one? Did you know the human head weighs just 14 pounds? Just mine. It's been a long road. I'd never done a crazy thing in my life before that night. Do you have a Jira for that?
I love that, man.
I think I've met Jared like 2 or 3 times. 2 of those times? Don't even remember. At least one of those times he picked me up and threw me over his shoulder and carried me away. 2 of those times? Yeah, that makes sense.
It was funny because he was going to ask us for a ransom, and we were like, oh, "You're fucking joking."
Jared is one of my favorite humans. Yeah. Jake, I played a whole bunch of that with my daughter today, and it was really fun. It was really nice.
Of all the Wayne's World references to make, though, genuinely, I would expect him to make the. But then I had to beat the owner and his son to death with their own shoes.
The new Lego Star Wars game is quite good. A lot of fun. It's still a Lego game. It's not like the most in-depth or complicated game out there, but it's just fun. It's a really funny adaptation of the Star Wars franchise. Great to play if you've got a kid. Minnie Eris actually bought it with her own money. She was so excited, and then she sat there watching the download, just like jumping up and down of like 10%, 10%, 10%, 20%, 30%. And then she played it for hours and hours and hours. And then she and I played it more today. And really damn fun game. Really, really, really recommend it. It's a lot of fun. I know
Is
that
it
has
true that the only way you can download it is if you force download?
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What's next then, Cap Maris?
I don't know. I got nothing. Honestly, we've made it.
Questions.
Questions? Does anyone have any questions? We've actually made it further than I thought I would. That we have. I actually thought that I was gonna just fall asleep randomly like 20 minutes ago, and this would just turn into a weird show of Shiver trying to get my attention and me just passed out until I woke up and stopped the stream. But I'm still here.
I talk about Amiga games. I'm not going to lie. That's all it would have been. Star Citizen being ported to Amiga confirmed.
You know what? Hang on. Okay, there's more people here now. Nobody. I asked a question at the top of the show. Nobody answered it. I'm gonna ask now because there's more people and maybe someone will answer. I'm trying to figure out the best way to play Star Citizen. I don't like HOTAS, hands on stick and throttle, because I don't find I have enough fine control with a throttle to shoot for like aiming with my hands. No, as we covered earlier in the show, I think I'm gravitating towards HOSAM, hands on stick and mouth.
When Stormy says that, you're like, "Yep, you've been talking with Ghost, haven't you?"
Does anyone play with HOSAM, hand on stick and a mouse? And if so, what stick? And what's a good stick that I should get? Because I don't have a ton of money, but I want a stick that might work in my left hand.
Okay. That was not the person I would expect to say that. Is all I'm going to say, LSP.
I can't do it. It's too cold in my basement.
There are so many jokes that I could say, but I'm pretty sure that I couldn't get away with saying them.
Probably not.
Just make your own joystick joke here. Very good.
I don't know what that laugh was, Shiver, but it was amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know. No one's got any questions?
I do love HOTAS. I really do love a HOTAS. And pedals. I find pedals an essential. Even if you've got twist on the joystick, I don't like it. Because if you are trying to turn and twist at the same time, that can be quite hard on the old wrist.
I had some problems with that. Yeah.
I do not recommend the Thrustmaster Warthog joystick for small one-seater ships, because moving that thing is like trying to push a car off railroad tracks on your own. No, don't do it. And unless it's a big ship, and then it's a bit more natural. But if you've got something that's really agile and you're on this Warthog and you're like, oh god, because obviously the Warthog itself is not a nimble plane compared with a fighter jet.
My problem with that Smiling Viking, one, I don't have pedals, so I never actually tried HOTAS with pedals. My problem is I'm really, really good at aiming at stuff with a mouse. I'm really, really not good at aiming at stuff with a joystick. I'm really bad, actually. And
practice comes, but you're never going to beat the accuracy of a mouse.
Practice comes, but I also don't have a ton of time to practice because time.
Yeah, but how, you've had like 30 plus years playing with your joystick, haven't you? So everyone's favorite Amiga games. No, HOTAS and pedals is an excellent experience. It does just genuinely feel nice playing like that, and throw in voice attack as well. And it's a good experience. You're not necessarily going to be the most competitive of people, but it's a lot of fun. It really is. And there are some fantastic pedals out there if you want to spend a lot of money. What are they called? Is the Whirlwind pedals? Really nice pedals. I think it's just one guy maybe that makes these pedals, and they look lovely. They're nice and solidly built, and they're good peak separation as well. The CH pedals I like, but they are nicknamed the Nutcrackers for a reason.
All right.
And you can, with pedals as well, because you've obviously got the pedals that can go like that, but I think all of them, the actual pedals themselves can move like car pedals, so you can use that for strafing forward and backward,
Right.
or what have you.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I got to figure something out.
You're absolutely right, Smiling Viking. Absolutely right. If you're using a HOTAS, you're a pilot first and foremost. Could
Flying
work
with the
out
HOTAS
really
does-
well on something like the oh, what's that fucking gorgeous bomber ship, multi-crew,
Retaliator?
Aegis. Thank you, the Retaliator.
You're welcome.
Absolutely perfect for that. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
I
haven't got any
mean-
guns.
Yeah. That would require some multi-crew that I just don't do.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like,
Yeah, hands on stick and mouse is going to be great in a combat situation, but the long-term use is going to be frustrating.
my favorite ship to fly is the Starfighter.
Of course.
The Ion, right?
And that makes sense using a mouse to aim with it.
I need to be able to aim with that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
If I only get one shot every 3 hours, I need to be able to hit that one shot.
Yeah,
So,
sad fact of life.
yep.
I mean, even ESP, as it was called, only goes so far. It helps, but it's not. You just can't compete with the accuracy of the mouse.
Yeah.
So HOSAM is really good option for you.
Anyway, I'm looking into options, taking recommendations in the Discord if you want to throw in your thoughts. Just, trying to see what there is. To be fair, the only HOTAS I've ever used is the Scitech Rhino, which even as someone that's never used another HOTAS, I can tell it bad.
The Warthog throttle is a very nice throttle. It's a dual stick throttle. It doesn't have I don't think the stick on that is analog, but the way that they've set the digital stick up is it can work as an analog stick, and it's got a lot of nice. I think they're toggleable switches. In that,
Yeah.
if you put it in a down position, it stays. I think. I might be wrong on that one. They might switch back after.
The Rhino
So
actually
they-
has a
they
lot
just
of
don't
those,
fund
but
it. Yeah,
it
but
also-
it's the quality of
quality,
the
yeah.
Rhino compared with the quality of the Warthog thruster.
Yeah. Oh well.
I will die on the hill of CH products at the price range. There are better options, but they're more expensive options.
Funny thing is, I started looking into some of these, like Virpil, VKB, CH. Man, finding a CH joystick is difficult.
Fine over there.
Anyway,
The
this
pedals.
this leads me back to I would really like and we've talked about this a couple times over the years, but I really hope that that CIG do a partnership of some kind with
Someone.
someone. I don't know who.
Don't know when,
Yeah, but it would be nice.
but
if
I know
they
they'll
did.
meet again.
I actually really liked the setup that they had sketched out way back when with the like LED touchpad on the throttle for the HOTAS. That
Oh yeah, but that was basically just a Rhino. I think.
I don't remember. It's been so long since
It's a Rhino with an LED touchscreen, and it's like, here's your LED touchscreen.
Yeah, I know.
And it would
We'll
have
see.
been an astronomical cost just for the word Star Citizen on it without the extra quality.
Yep.
But I would recommend, if you try out Hosam, get a T16000 or near equivalent, and see how you like the setup first and foremost. Because if you do like the setup, then it's worth investing a good amount of money in.
Yep. That's probably my plan. Anyway, we're just about at the end of the show. No one's asked any questions, so we got nothing to answer. So, hey, Shiver, what do you got going on?
This week, I think it works out as Tuesday in your Western time zone. We're going to stream Among Us with a fairly good large group of people over on Table of Horrors. And then Friday in your Western time zone, we've got Neon Knights, V5 Vampire the Masquerade game. Check out twitch.tv/Table of Horrors for that. Some other bits. We've opened up a play-by-post area. If you want to do some light role play yourself, just let us know. All you need to do is jump in our Discord and then just say, I'd like to play the play-by-post.
Yeah.
What have you got coming up, Eris?
Over on our side, unclear on Tuesday. We haven't done one in a bit, but it's because Jake is busy and I'm busy and Eric is sick, but we'll see about this week. We'll see what's going on. And for next week, CIG are on holiday/hiatus. So I don't know. We'll announce it in the Discord beforehand. I'm tentatively thinking we skip next week and then we can come back the week after. Just give us a chance to rest. Give Nakara a little bit more time to rest because he's having a really rough time, unfortunately, with COVID. So keep an eye on the Discord. Keep an eye on Twitter. We might not do a show next week, but we'll be back probably the week after that. And if CIG aren't back yet, then maybe we'll fly around.
With his new Hosam setup.
Yeah, right. Don't have the money for one right now. That's
What happens when you buy a new kitchen instead? Get your priorities right.
Oh, but it's a good-looking kitchen.
Doesn't play Star Citizen, though.
No, but it lets me cook.
Can you play Skyrim in your kitchen at least?
You know what? Funny you should say that, but I could if I wanted to, yes.
Excellent.
I do have a smart fridge, which I haven't done so, but I could route it to run Chrome, and then I could play something like Skyrim through cloud. I could hook
Excellent.
up an Xbox controller and play Doom on my fridge if I wanted to. There's actually a video of someone setting his fridge up to do just that and play Doom.
That does not surprise me. Doom must be playable on everything.
Yep. So
I want to be able to play Doom in Star Citizen.
I agree. That'd be cool.
So what are you doing tonight? I'm going to play Doom. Oh, what? On the no.
I like that, Smiling Viking. That's good. Yeah, that's honestly, that exact feel is what I want, and I sort of had it with HOTAS. I really loved flying with HOTAS. It felt great, but I was worse than useless in combat to the point that I could fly with HOTAS, but if I got into combat at all, I actually had to switch back to keyboard and mouse because I couldn't hit a thing otherwise, and I want to try and find a balance of both of them where I'm at least, yeah.
If you're using a sniper ship, yeah.
Also, Smiling Viking, they've already said that we are likely to see some games within the game, not Doom, but we will see like Hyper Vanguard Force, for example.
They'll have their own version of Snake called Vane.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out this week and watching. Love you all.